working, she will come out in the black community. She's not afraid to eat with black people.
All right.
When you say I'm not afraid to... Here? Yeah? I am black.
Demopolis, Alabama. That's where I, but 92nd.
Is this it? 92nd and Huff. 93rd and Woodland. That's where I come from. Daniel E. Morgan Elementary. You know.
Alexander Hamilton, Rollins, John Adams. I tell people all the time the biggest issue that we have here, and I'm a lifelong Clevelander. So candidates, I'm going to be listening because I want to know who I'm voting. That's what I'm doing. As far as Congress is concerned, you all know the deal. 6 million was raised. But what was it spent? What was it spent for? A battle of words. We have children. I'll take the home.
The 11th district has some real problems. You all know that we are included in the #1 most impoverished district in America. We have high illiteracy here. We have infant mortality here. We got a lot more problems just talking about what 2 women have against each other and spending $6 million to do it.
Come on now.
We are not that simple as a race or as a community that we need to see the Jerry Springer show every day. We don't need that. We need to worry about our children. We need to worry about our families. We need to see our men who are being incarcerated. We need to do all of that. And once we do all of that, then we can talk about other things. But you do know there is a God and He watches over us. I'm not leaving Cleveland, and you shouldn't either. We have one of 10 freshwater lakes in the world. Let's do something with it, and let's hold these guys accountable to the fact that we deserve better.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ron. You can sit that on the table. Let me say that the call post is here. They went somewhere. They'll be back. We have Louis. We want to thank Editor Dale Edwards for sending the call post out, because they have all these black forums for the mayor, and the only thing they show up for is the city club. Well, you got to come in the black community. Cleveland is predominantly black. We also have Mr. Martin Amick over here. Come over so they can see you. He doesn't want to be seen. He's with Channel 3. Come on, raise your hand, Mr. Amick. You came out to see us. And Mr. Bashir Jones has come in. We're going to get started right away. Right away on this forum. There are certain things we already know that the activists are clear on. We want the chase policy to stay in place where they can't chase black boys unless it's a felony. How many want that policy in place? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you want that policy in place. So we got that. Now, Dennis Kucinich is coming in too, the former mayor and the former congressman. Look at these people. And we have Justin Bill, we have Ross DeBello, attorney, Ward Shelby Councilman Bashir Jones. This is his area, we love him. We have Dennis Kucinich, Mr. Kucinich, and our very own, the only black woman in the race. And you know black women are smart. And don't call and ask me if I was doing a black woman, because I will not. State Senator Sandra Williams. State Senator Sandra Williams. And there's Al Porter over there, and we have Elaine Golston with the Black Women's PAC. And I like Elaine Golston, because she always pitches in. This food is not free. And I'm going to tell you how we ended up paying for the food, because I'm not going to pretend. We put in $100. Francis put in $100. Donna put in. I put in. Elaine put in. And I'm saying everybody can come and eat, even though we didn't have the money. And so Zach Reed said, I put in $50. And then they said, well, Kevin gave $100 last time. Call him. So Donna and Francis called Kevin. And he called Council President Kevin Kelly, and whether we back him or not, he said, I got the whole bill. So give him a hand. He said, I got the whole bill. That doesn't mean that we will endorse you, because they should pick up the bill when you come in the black community and you have $500,000 and $4.6 million and you can't buy black people a few pancakes while you get married. Come on, you can't buy black people a few pancakes.
All right, Kathy, let's go.
I'm not gonna keep talking because we have a program. And they're going to come up and speak, these women, real quick. And you know who they are. Refuse Fascism will speak real quick. Genevieve Mitchell, where are we? Genevieve Mitchell. Who else is supposed to come up? And then Al Porter will come up real quick. And then Donna and Francis have questions. I have questions. And then we will let the community take over, because we do have, is that you, Ken Dow? What's your name right here?
I'm Ken Johnson, Ken with 2 N's.
Ken with 2 N's? Okay, now, listen. After we do the male candidates will introduce themselves, we'll give them a few packed questions, and then the audience will speak, because Mr. Keith is coming. Arthur Keith's father's coming. And he was gunned down by, where are you? Scott Hawkins. His son was gunned down by CMHA police, and they would not charge him because the victim is black. So that just tells you the list of blacks that we have fought for. Arthur Keith, Tamir Rice, Melissa Williams and Timothy Russell, 137 shots. Tanisha Anderson, Daniel Thicker, Brandon Jones, Michael Pipkins. These are the people we've lost in this struggle. These are the people we've lost. But come on, so we'll have Miss Adrian, and then we'll have, who else did I say? Genevieve, and then we'll have Al, and Al will call out the murders of the 11 women on Imperial Avenue. We were founded around the murders of 11 black women on Imperial Avenue by serial killer Anthony Sowell, the late serial killer. A lot of us met out Imperial. So come on up, Miss Adrian. Then the next person, oh, that's Art McCoy. We got our leader here, Art McCoy, over there hiding out. Did you want to say something more now? You want to wait? Okay, go ahead, Miss Adrian.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Just want to thank you for that. God bless you. You know, we have been fighting and fighting and fighting for years, for decades. And I'm tired. I'm 70 years old. And I've been on the march since I was 11.
Thank you, Lord.
In Vicksburg, Mississippi. And I look back on the things that we have fought against. And here in 2021, we're still fighting the same fight. And I want to know what each of you are going to do about the murders of our young black people. Yes. Yes. About this pandemic that God has allowed. Because we've come against him. We have to come together, people. We have to.
Yes, we do.
And our leaders have got to come and work with us. Black lives do matter. And it's time for us to stand up and say, we will not stand down again.
Say that. Come on now.
This year is the year of our salvation.
Yeah.
This time is the time for us to come together as one. As one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Not just those who have money, not just those who have lighter skin, but for all of us. I'm sorry, I didn't intend to preach, but
That's okay.
that's what I want to
Preach.
Go ahead.
Preach. All right.
Okay, come on up, Genevieve. You can't move away from this mic. We don't have all the fancy stuff. Genevieve is coming up right now. Thank you, Miss Adrian. By the way, we pay for a standard breakfast, and you get orange juice or coffee. Come on up, Genevieve, and then Al Porter. Now, you people speak. Hurry up now, because we want to hear what the candidates have to say, don't we? We also have Miss Letitia Powell here. She'll be speaking. They went in her son's house and gunned him down, and the detectives, when she called, they hang up in her face, don't they? But if they do it again, we'll put a picket on them. Come on up here, Jen. You hang up in that woman. You hang up in that woman's face again, and we'll picket you.
I'm
Come
right
on,
there with
Genevieve.
him. I'm right there with
And
you.
I hope somebody takes it back.
I'm right there with you.
Right.
I got no problem.
Okay, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
I stand
Good
corrected.
afternoon.
So glad everyone's here. My mentor, McKetta Judkins, was a media specialist, educator par excellence, womanist, Black history aficionado, and political strategist. Her work, called Black Women in America, A Case for National Action, dealt with the seminal questions of the day. She said that she was a byproduct of the Women of Montgomery movement, and she understood intrinsically that Black survival was contingent upon economic and political behavior changes in the Black community. Those that we make on issues that affect us and our children and families. She understood intrinsically that Black survival is contingent upon addressing and resolving in our vital time the issues of Black women, economic insecurity, health disparities, health care, education, housing, and housing especially with the rescission of the federal housing moratorium looming October 30th, right before the November 2nd election, which is strategic if you think about it, which stands to affect 12.7 million families nationally who will be outdoors. We need to understand that. These people will be evicted and outdoors. Many of the homeowners will lose their income properties. Developers are eyeballing public housing. Jobs, wages, and unemployment are not adequate. People fighting $15 an hour wages that's still not a reality. The calamity and continuum of children in juvenile jails and Black children as young as 10 being sent to adult prisons. Those are our issues. Astronomical Black and brown incarceration rates with no jobs, education, voter suppression, racism declared a public health threat, and these issues are still ravaging our community. Black images in the media is also very problematic. Police violence and opposition to critical race theory. While McKetta Judkins lays solemnly in her grave, her spirit still lives. Wake up, Black community, and begin to think critically. Thank you.
Thank you. Genevieve is one of our most articulate. What we're going to do now is what we do at every forum. We call out the names of the 11 Black women on Imperial Avenue that have been murdered. We call out the names of the 5 women whose killer we cannot find, or killers along East 93rd all the way up to Bessemer. And we call out the 3 girls on the west side, Gina DeJesus and Michelle Knight and Amanda Berry. We fought for them. Art fought for them. We do this at every forum. Tired of women getting raped and murdered. Stop the rape, stop the murder, stop killing black women. Come on up, Al. But Al has stood with the women. He has stood with us for years. And he's touched mine.
All right, brother.
In the Creator's name,
Amen.
we remember the imperial women who were murdered. If you can repeat after me and say, I am Tanya Carmichael, Talacia Fortson, Crystal Dozier, Imelda Hunter, Michelle Mason, LaShonda Long, Tashana Colbert, Nancy Cobbs, Janice Webb, Kimmy Beth Smith, Diane Turner. We remember East 93rd murdered women. Aliana DeFries, Ashley Lazeski, Christine Malone, Jamila Hassan, Jasmine Trotter. We remember Seymour Avenue, Amanda Berry, Gina DeJesus, Michelle Knight. And I know about time limits. So with about 45 seconds or less that's left for me, the day after the election, as activists, my organization, Black on Black Crime Incorporated, and other activist organizations that are here will definitely HTA, and we ask you to do the same, to hold whoever becomes our mayor, to hold them accountable.
Yes.
We will not wait until 60 or 90 days later and congregate and talk amongst ourselves. We will hold them accountable to follow through for what they say they're going to do on this very day, on this very occasion.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to bring up Elaine Golston real quick with the Black Women's PAC. I want to say that Mayor Jackson is not running again. He's not seeking a fifth term. Some of us want to say on behalf of the activists, farewell to the mayor. We got along with him sometimes we didn't. I did leave a picket on his house once of the Imperial Avenue murders, but we get along now. Here's Elaine.
Good afternoon, everyone. And for those of you that know that I run the 501 Street and Harvard Services Center, I am here on my lunch hour. I want you to know that I am here on my lunch hour. I also represent the International Women's March, along with Kathy Coleman. I want you to know that we did the Women's March this year. Although it's a national march, we were the only ones that held one in this city. Nowhere across the country where there's another march like ours. And we want you to know that we work hard on behalf of our residents. And I want you to know, and I want to say this to our mayoral candidates, everyone in here has an arm of influence. Use your arm of influence. Do not just listen to someone else, but pay attention to what's going on and use your influence to spread the word about who you want to lead you in this next election.
Yes.
Thank you. And I love everybody up here. But we need to have our influence. Thank you so much. You all are so wonderful. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
Let me say that the activists are in a whole lot of different camps in terms of who they support. They're in all the camps, and Mr. DeBello, a lot don't know him, but I like him too, because he will fight too. Okay, first give these candidates a hand for coming out. And let me say, we want to wish each and every, and you're a representative of Mr. Kevin, is he coming later? Okay, well, we thank him for the pancakes. We thank him, wish you luck. And we will bring you back when we get the two in the final in November 2nd. So we're going to move on with the program. We're going to have Donna, did you want to come up now? How are we going to do this? Did you want to come up now, or will you do your questions? Okay, what we're gonna do now is have the candidates introduce themselves, and then we will do a couple packed questions, and then the audience will get to ask them questions. Make sure you're courteous. So, let's go. Do we have a mic here? Let me see, we're gonna have to move this.
And we want to say that each candidate has 2 minutes to open. 2 minutes, and you will be, you know how to do it.
Each candidate has 2 minutes, and after 2 minutes, please just do right. Okay, we're gonna start with the only woman in the race, State Senator Sandra Whitty.
My name is Sandra Williams. I am the state senator for the 21st Senate District. You all have given me the honor of representing you in the state legislature since 2007. Prior to working in the state legislature, I worked for 10.5 years in the field of criminal justice. I served as a corrections officer, probation officer, parole officer, and mediator for the state of Ohio. I served as a legislative aide to former state representative Andy P. And I served our country in the United States Army Reserve. I am a proud graduate of the Cleveland Municipal School. I did that. I earned the degrees, but my mother also taught me commitment to the community. And that is why I held all the positions that I've held, public service positions, because I want to make sure that the people around me are taken care of. I have been fighting for you for 15 years. I have delivered real results from Columbus, Ohio, and I am asking that you give me an opportunity to serve you as the mayor. The focus of my campaign will be on economic development, public safety, and education. If we can get those things right, I know we can change the makeup of this city, and we will attract people back into our community instead of people running away from each other. We can change this if we all work together.
All right.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Some of you know me, and I think most of you know me. I've served this community honorably, with integrity, and with fight when I was the mayor of the city of Cleveland. I saved what is now known as Cleveland Public Power by taking a stand against a crooked bank and a crooked utility, the Cleveland Electric Illuminating Company. The same people who we all have to deal with every day. I took a stand on behalf of each person in this room, and that stand resulted in the people of Cleveland saving hundreds of millions of dollars on their taxes and on their utility bills over a long period of time. Now, I would like to ask a question here. How many people in this audience know of homicide cases that have not been solved?
Right here.
Want to look around, look around. These are hands up of homicide cases that have not been solved. I respect that we started this meeting off reciting the names of people who must never be forgotten. But in some cases, they are forgotten because the case goes cold after 2 days. And after a week, it's just forgotten about. The rate of closed cases keeps going down because our homicide unit has been eviscerated. Now, let me tell you what I intend to do. I know the people in this race who don't want to talk about having more police. Well, we don't want more police who disrespect people. We don't want more police who don't understand the Constitution. We don't want police who are not racially sensitive. But I intend to have police meet that test. And I'm going to see the homicide unit increase to the point of where we can go after all those cases that they say are closed. We're going to warm them up and make sure that we bring people to justice who murdered the brothers and sisters in this community so that no one will ever feel that they can't go and murder someone with impunity. We will track them down no matter how long it takes, and we'll have enough people people in the homicide unit and the scientific investigation unit to make sure that they're going to gather evidence and continue to find those who are committing murder in our community. And no one who's ever been murdered will learn or will find out that their spirit will become aware that no one cares. Well, I care. And I want you to know you have a mayor who's going to stand up and fight for justice. Thank you.
First and foremost, we thank God for living your life.
Thank you.
I feel welcome to Ward 7.
All right.
And if you want to know who had the best pancakes in the city, you right here. Right. The best pancakes in the city. Mama Andy Starks back there. I don't know what they put in it, but I'm telling you, it tastes good. It tastes great. And there's no way that we can allow, where's my campaign, Ebony, where you at, Ebony? This is my campaign manager. We can't allow anybody to come to our ward and pay for anything. We're going to pay for everybody's breakfast today. So make sure in my campaign, we're going to pay for all the pancakes and stuff like that. We can't come to Ward 7 and take care of no bill. It's our bill, all right? So we got that. That's number 2. Number 3, I'm very excited, I'm very excited about the opportunity to have a serious conversation. You see, I was raised by this community. I was raised by the Omar Ali Bays.
Yeah.
And the Harlell Jones.
Come on now.
The Afro Set.
Yeah.
I was raised by the people of this community. And the problem that I have in this race is that people say one thing in one place and they say something totally different in a different place.
In a different place. Come on.
And what I want you to do, I look forward to the tough questions. I look forward to it. But what we have to do as a community is that we must be more unified, because let's be crystal clear that within the past 16 years, or even longer than that, black people are still doing as bad now as they've been doing before.
Come on now.
Some people will talk to you about their experience, but I know a lot of people who've been doing a lot of things for a long time the wrong way.
Yep.
So it's time for a change in the direction that we are going. It's time for a new generation of leadership. And all I ask is, let's talk about it. Let's discuss truly, how do we impact black people? You know, when we talk about minorities, and we say minorities in order to kind of bring all these different people together. But specifically, I hope these questions today, specifically, what, not say what you're going to do for black people, but what have you done tangibly for black people? What have you done? I'm happy to be here today. I hope that you don't get afraid. I hope that you ask the right questions. I hope that, well, Kathy right here, I know she ain't afraid. So we're going to ask the right questions, and let's make sure that we have the true dialogue where people can be honest about what they have done, not what they say they're going to do. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ross DeBello. Most of you don't know me, some of you do. I was raised in Chesterland. I went to law school here at Cleveland State. After law school, I actually started working for the law offices of Cassandra Collier Williams, which is right here, 21st and St. Clair. Then we moved to 30th and Chester. I had eaten at Shays about 50 times, but before it was Shays Pizza. So, the judge, she took me with her when she won, right? I went down to the Justice Center. Some of us know it as the Injustice Center, right? I watched felony court for 8 years. It sickened my stomach, right? There is something wrong with Cleveland. There is something wrong with America. And it's going to take significant change to our system, right? Lead paint poisoning, infant mortality, crime. We have systemic problems. So I'm genuinely proposing systemic change. And I hope you guys will check my website out at rossdevella.com. I hope that some of you, I may look boring, but I hope that some of you see me in yourselves. Because what I'm doing is holding City Hall accountable by running. Okay, I was on unemployment last year once COVID hit. I don't have a lot of money. I have no endorsements, but I don't know where all the other candidates stand, but I don't endorse the way that City Hall does business and what we prioritize. And the budget needs to be recast as a moral document, and we need to start prioritizing the worst problems we have. And that's why I'm in this. I get to say what I want to say. I've raised very little amounts of money. I hang with you guys, right? I like Clash. I hate the Justice Center system. I hate the amount of crime we have here. I hate the disproportionate way we incarcerate people. And so I'm running to try and bring about change. So I hope you guys will give me a chance. Strongly consider me.
Okay.
Good afternoon. How's everybody doing today?
All right.
Good. I know the good book tells us that when two or more are gathered, the Lord is present. So I believe we are truly fellowshipping this afternoon. My name is Justin Bibb. I answer the first question everyone asks me on the campaign trail. Is Leon Bibb your dad? He is not my father. He is my cousin. So as you know, I come from good stock, but I was born and raised on one of the toughest blocks in this city, on 121st and Dove. My dad was one of the first black firemen and cops in Cleveland Heights. My mom has been a social worker for nearly 20 plus years, fighting for seniors all across this city. And what they told me as a kid growing up in Dove is that, Justin, your aim should be to do something, not be anything. So I did what you told me to do. I went off to American University and worked with President Obama when he was in the U.S. Senate. I became an executive at Gallup, advising big city mayors all across the country on how to better use data and technology to make our cities better. And I came back home to get my law degree and MBA from Case Western because I realized that I needed the leadership and business acumen to one day lead this city out of this pandemic to an era of prosperity. And I believe that now, not yesterday, but now, is the time for bold, new, dynamic, visionary leadership to move our city forward. Now, I might be new in this game of politics as a candidate, but I'm not new to these issues. I buried too many of my family members due to violent crime. I know what it's like to make ends meet and see that eviction notice on my door. And it's that lived experience, but the executive experience that I'm going to bring as your mayor to make sure that Cleveland truly can become the best mid-sized city in America. And in this race is not about anybody on this stage. This race is about giving you the power. Because the mayor's seat, I'm going to say this again, the mayor's seat belongs to not one woman or one man, it belongs to all of you. And so that's the kind of vision I'm bringing as your next mayor, and I'm looking forward to the discussion. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
He's over here trying to regulate me already. Joe Fouché car, we're going to walk in, so I didn't know. And we'll go out there. Okay, so I didn't know, Joe, that I would be up here with you guys, but I love to debate though, because I make my meetings and I bring home money from my neighborhood, so I love to debate. And here's the thing, many of you know me. When we went after McGinty dealing with Tamir Rice, Councilman Conwell didn't talk about it. Is that true? I went door to door. I went door to door in my community and told people, don't vote for McGinty. I went door to door. I didn't talk about it. I got out there and I worked. And we took out McGinty. We made sure he didn't get any persecuted. I just got finished dealing with Judge John O'Donnell for the second time, dealing with 130-something shots. I went out twice, wrote letters to my residents in the community and said my grandmother would be turning over in her grave if we go for Judge John O'Donnell. So the main thing is about working, getting the job done. Many of you know me from the fatherhood movement. That fatherhood movement is not national now that I started. Helped to pioneer Congressman Hunger also from working. So when they sit here and they talk about things and put some policy, the proof is in the pudding. Actions speak louder than words. I didn't know that I would be up here today, but here's the reason why I went for Kevin Kelly. During my committee meetings, they're just be quiet. And the Glenville community Lead poison is out of control. It's out of control. Trump sent down $40 million to the state. $9.7 million out of the $40 million for Kerry helped me to bring in went to guess where?
Glenville.
Glenville community.
All money ain't good money.
With the liver, because it's helping to save children in our community. It's helping to save children in our community. And the one that said that should have walked with me when I was dealing with Judge. Because it takes hard leadership. It takes hard leadership. You got to get out there and have it work. The other money, when you see the Black Wall Street over there in Cleveland Village, we have 9 African-American businesses in there. That's a $15 million business. It's on 105th Street. That should be under Marshall. And I legislated that through council for making my committee. Then when you see East 105th Street, that's $21 to $23 million. And I legislated through Kevin Kelly. We got a new street, the infrastructure is going through. Right across the street is the Fisher House, 15 million.
All right, it's been.
But it's not an endorsement meeting.
And they asked me, they called me at the last minute. For the mayor. We just spent $700,000 with y'all. For the mayor. Also with Kevin Kelly legislating.
Sorry, my bad.
The thing the news folks told me, like, I don't bring home money. And I work to bring home money in my neighborhood. That's why I went out just for Kevin Kelly. Joe, you called me at the last minute. Councilman Conway ain't afraid of nothing about being there.
All right, thank you.